Greetings, Lucky Legends. Welcome to the dojo. My name is Lucky, this is Lucky Lad TV. I'm your host for this video. And this is a very special episode of Lucky Analytics Team Building. Or at least it was going to be. Originally, I was going to do this as there were going to be 3 videos. The first video was going to be like a skit of me wearing... I would have like an airsoft rifle or something like that. And I would be in war paint and, you know, armor and stuff like that. Actually, no, I'd probably just use my Master Sword and some armor type stuff. Or maybe I just wear, like, some of my martial arts uniforms. And do, like, this whole intense monologue about me invading the aDrive army. And then the next video would be, you know, the team building video. And then the third video would be me battling Dan. However... we are both extremely busy, and we have not had the time to battle. I also have not asked him to battle, because... So, as soon as I was done with this team, I knew for a fact that he was too busy, because that was right around the GBA finals, so I knew I couldn't ask him then, because there's just... that is completely inappropriate for me to ask. And basically, as soon as the GBA finals ended is when I was having all these health problems, and I'm still having health problems, keep in mind. And basically, there was no point at which I would have been able to say, hey, can we schedule this, and then do it, because my health was not where it needed to be to do something on a scale like this that was going to be a really big thing, that was going to be a lot of fun. So instead I'm just going to tell you guys about the team, and eventually I'll battle him with it. However, this team is not to be trifled with. I have practiced with this team many times, and it puts in the absolute finest of work. It has no unchecked weaknesses. It has a huge physical wall in Vinny. Vinny is also a rapid spinner. It can switch in onto stealth rocks, I believe, 17 times. It'll die on the 17th time, but, you know, still a lot. It is a Rocky helmet. That's right, Rocky helmet. It is a Rocky helmet Vinny with Earthquake, Rapid Spin, Knockoff, and Stealth Rock. I went with Knockoff rather than Stone Edge because Knockoff is much better for what we're doing. Next up, we have Eagle. Eagle is our special wall. Air Slash, Scald, Ice Beam, and Hidden Power Rock. Hidden Power Rock is for that Fletchling. No, not Fletchling. Fletchinder. That thing. It is for Fletchinder, except I think that's an RU now. I think it got moved up. It's also for just any other random flying types that want to come through that are neutral to Scald. For example, Hidden Power Rock does a lot to... well, it doesn't do that much because they're specially defensive, but it does a good amount to Mantine, and most people don't run it because it's not very logical to have Hidden Power Rock. We also have Water Absorb and Leftovers for plenty of recovery, Air Slash and Scald for dual stab, and Scald for getting burns. The reason I went with speed investment rather than special attack investment is it's a lot more direct than you would think, and that is because Air Slash plus Scald equals potential secondary effects that you would want to happen before your opponent has the chance to attack. You would like to get a Scald burn before your opponent hits you with an attack, or you would like to get an Air Slash flinch, which means you need to outspeed. And to round out this core, we have a Pokemon that I really have grown to love, which is Clang. I don't like Klinklang, because Klinklang is physical, and it doesn't really get very good physical moves, whereas Clang can much more easily be run special, because the difference is only 10. It's a lot easier. Max HP, neutrally defensive, it gets up to 180 defense and special defense respectively with... 180 with that Eviolite. It has Hidden Power Fire. Hidden Power Fire is for the ice types that may want to show up. I don't know. I don't remember why I put Hidden Power Fire on here exactly. I just knew that I wanted some fire coverage. And that's probably actually why I did it. And it has Volt Switch for Switch Initiative, Thunder Wave for speed control. It has 81 speed, which is it's pretty nice. It outspeeds uninvested base 60 Pokemon, and down in this tier, there aren't a lot of super duper fast Pokemon. And then it of course has Flash Cannon for stab. It has Clear Body, which has proven weirdly useful, because our stats aren't getting dropped by secondary effect moves. And I know you guys can already see him, or her. We have Medusa! This is the powerhouse of this team. And when I say powerhouse, I mean insane powerhouse. Medusa is Assault Vest with Contrary. After one superpower, it has 165 defense and special defense respectively. And then it has Psycho Cut and Knockoff for stab, and then it has Facade. Facade because when people see a Malamar, they want to burn it. Which makes sense. It's a very dangerous Pokemon. Facade ignores the burn attack drop and doubles in power, and it does a huge amount of damage. A Ghost type cannot... Obviously, it's immune to Facade, but a Ghost type cannot take a knockoff from Medusa. The next thing that I really noticed that I needed was something to deal out really heavy special damage. And that is where Creeper comes in. Creeper is bulky, but Creeper is also very, very strong. Creeper is max attack, modest nature with the Black Sludge for recovery's sake. It has Chlorophyll because its other ability is Effect Spore, and I don't want to have Effect Spore because I don't want it. I prefer it not to have to take a hit. It's going to take a hit, but I prefer it not to have to. Max special attack, as I said, a little bit of speed investment to outspeed, you know, uninvested base 50s, or Pokemon with only 4 EVs in speed with base 50 speed. It hits extremely hard. Sludge Bomb, Moonblast, because Moonblast is very important for hitting Pokemon that are weak to Fairy. It is the only Fairy coverage we have on our team. It hits Zweilous really, really, really hard. It also has Giga Drain for recovery, or extra recovery. And then it has Aromatherapy. The reason I have Aromatherapy on here is because I would really like to keep Toxic off of this team. I'm not super duper worried about burns, except for on something like Nermal, which is our Purugly, or on Vinny. Medusa can handle a burn because it has Facade, and it can still set up with Superpower. But Aromatherapy, I really was having trouble, because originally, instead of Aromatherapy, I had Synthesis. Because I figured, oh, I'll just run Synthesis to get that back up. And at one point I had Sunny Day. Wait, you don't learn Sunny Day, do you? You do. Yeah, I had Sunny Day on here to set up and do a Chlorophyll sweep. But I was getting outsped by Swellow, and Swellow was wrecking my face. Because it's Swellow. It would Brave Bird me and I would die. But the reason I settled on Aromatherapy is because people were actually toxicking Medusa, and what was happening is that I couldn't get the late game sweep that I wanted because I would go down to Toxic after a certain amount of time. So I went with the Aromatherapy to sort of help out with that. Creeper is a very long-lasting Pokemon, just overall. Creeper can also take a -2 Overheat from a Choice Specs Pyroar, which is basically a -1 Overheat from a Pyroar. Gears of War can take... I don't think you can take it at neutral. I think it can take it at -1 as well. Because I just did a practice battle with this team to go remember like the feel for it, and we had a Pyroar, and this thing handled Pyroar when it was at -1. The first one went on to Eagle, which obviously ate it up, but I didn't know if it was Specs or not, so I switched out just to check. The other Pokemon that can actually take an Overheat at -2 or -1 is Nermal. Believe it or not. You're probably wondering, how? Because Normal is Thick Fat, not Defiant. I did not run Defiant because there are very, very, very few Pokemon down in this tier that actually have access to Intimidate. Intimidate is much more common in the higher tiers. So I really just wasn't worried about it. You have Illuminate, but, you know, obviously not the same. You have Mawile, but, you know, Normal can't handle Mawile anyway. For Mawile, I would probably go with Vinny or... Vinny's pretty much the only thing that can handle it. I could, of course, also go with Gears of War, which walls it and can hit it with Hidden Power Fires. Normal is a great opening mon with Fake Out and Return. It outspeeds pretty much everything. It outspeeds Archeops and lets me get Fake Out, U-turn off, and switch out into something like Gears of War that can actually handle Archeops, or it can let me switch out into Vinny, which can pretty much wall Archeops. Normal is extremely fast, as you can see, and it hits very, very, very hard, especially with that Life Orb. Life Orb Return does a huge amount to anything that doesn't resist it. And overall, it just rounds out the team and gives us that extra ice resistance and that extra fire resistance that we need with the Thick Fat ability. I'm very proud of this team. It is my primary NU team as of this point, and it has been working out very well. And I like it, and I'm going to keep using it because I like it. But with that, I want to thank you guys so very much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below. It's very much greatly appreciated. Thank you for joining me at the dojo. I'm going to get about. Best luck out there. I will see you all soon. Goodbye.